It's a, yeah. Well, I wish we would have recorded that because that's all part of my growing up, learning to play guitar. Because we were talking about earlier that I'm from Detroit and all this kind of stuff during the '60s, and I grew up down the street from a guy named Dennis Coffey. Now, Dennis Coffey has a song called Scorpio. Everyone knows dun 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 dun. Wow. Dennis Coffey grew up down the street from me. When I was like 7, 8 years old, I saw him play Dennis Coffey and the Detroit Guitar Band. And then that's why I got hooked on the guitar from seeing Dennis Coffey play.
Oh man, what did he used to play at?
It was on my street at Bewick. Dennis Coffey is a famous guitar player from Detroit. They had a movie about him called. Someone will look it up and find the movie. But that's when I first saw, someone play the guitar. But it was called the Detroit Guitar Band, and for me being so small, I thought it was a whole house full of guitar players. Only like 3 people, but being so young, it seemed like there were 50 guitar players in that house.
Oh man, yeah, that's so cool, man. And then, so like, yeah, you were talking about like Joe Louis Arena and like Cobo Hall and stuff.
Joe Louis Arena. I used to go there and watch wrestling all the time. At the Cobo Hall. We would go there. And watch wrestling. Go downtown and watch wrestling, and I saw it. I was there for the. I'm dating myself. I was there for when the Tigers won the '68 World Series with Mickey Lovich and Bill Freehan and Gates Brown and those guys.
Oh man, oh that's so cool. Yeah, it's sad they tore down Joe Louis, man.
Yeah, everything's changed. Life goes on. And the original Tiger Stadium is gone too. I used to see Al Kaline play there.
Oh man, yeah, and they also tore down the Palace. The Palace is
The,
gone,
the
man.
palette, everywhere is gone. Everywhere.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, man.
Yeah,
The
rock and
new
roll.
but the new album, Merciless,
Uh-huh.
man, dude. Max, you got Max Cavalera on there, man.
We played with Max back in the '90s. Max has been our friend since the beginning of time, and also my guitar tech. When Oscar's not working, he works for Max. So Max is like family. Max has been on a couple of Body Count records over the years.
Yeah, he was on like Bloodlust.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's family.
Yeah, man. And okay, and I gotta ask about this, right? Because the first time I ever heard Body Count was
Mhm.
the Universal Soldier movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you guys did the video, man. So what was tell me about that?
That was way back in the day. I remember shooting that video, and I remember Moose. We had Moose in the band. Moose was like a big 6'4", 300-pound man. And I said, look like you can take um, Jean-Claude. He's like, no, don't say that too loud. So yeah, that was a fun video. That was a fun day. It was. We recorded it at where Jimmy Kimmel records his show at now on Hollywood Boulevard. It was a nightclub, and then we recorded there during the day, and it was good.
How was Jean-Claude and Dolph? Were they pretty cool?
Yeah, very cool. I saw Dolph Lundgren not too long ago. I ran into him, and he didn't know who I was. I said, Universal Soldier. He says, that's been a long time. It's been 33 years or so, since, we did that one. But yeah, they were very nice, very professional, gentlemen.
All right, on. Oh man, and I also gotta talk about Sabbath, man. Forbidden.
Yeah, I produced a Sabbath record. Actually, it got reissued in a box set. The record as part of a box set, which was number one around the world, number one box set. Like I always say, it's hard to produce a Black Sabbath record because at that time I wanted them to sound different, but they really wasn't with it. The guy who got me to do it was from IRS Records, Miles Copeland. He wanted me to produce the record. So I was kind of a square peg slammed into a round hole. So I showed up there to produce a record. They're like, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm Ernie C, the record company. Then I turned to the corporate man, which I didn't like. But Tony was a great dude, so I'm still his friend to this day.
Oh man, Tony Iommi, man, that's so cool, man.
One story that's really cool. He brought the guitar because I'm left-handed that he used on Iron Man. So he said, "Ern, I brought this for you to play." I'm like, "I'm gonna leave it here tonight. You can play it." I played that guitar all night long.
Oh. Do you got a favorite Black Sabbath riff?
No, Iron Man is like the favorite riff. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the one that I just play, just because it's the first song. You learn that with Smoke on the Water when you learn how to play guitar. Those two songs. If you don't, and Stairway to Heaven, if you don't know those, you're not doing rock and roll. But I like all the Sabbath records. Tony, his playing is similar to mine in some ways, but I think that's what Miles caught, and that's why he wanted me to produce the record.
Yeah, like there goes the neighborhood, man. That's such a cool
That's
like
a
Sabbath type
it's
riff,
it's
man.
it's a Sabbath riff, and on it's a Sabbath riff. That's the influence that comes in. I'm influenced by a Sabbath and Zeppelin, and you know those bands, and Deep Purple.
Yeah. I mean, every time I pick up a guitar, it's either like a Sabbath riff, a Slayer riff, or there goes the neighborhood, man.
Right.
That's such a
But
cool riff.
yeah, Slayer came, they're more our contemporary, because like Sabbath and those guys, they're a generation before me. So I listened to them. Slayer, I listened to them also, but they're more my contemporaries.
Yeah, definitely, man. Oh, and Mayhem Fest. That's where I seen you for the
Yeah.
first time. Was Mayhem Fest in 2014, man. So how was
Wow.
that, man?
It's cool. I'm looking at a guitar that I have autographed from everyone in the Mayhem Fest, from Korn and those guys. Everyone signed this guitar I have. But festivals, we play a lot of festivals. I like playing festivals more than I like playing solo shows because I get to see bands that I don't see. Like we went to Europe last year. We played with everyone from Scorpions to Iron Maiden to all these bands that, because people always say, "You going to see this band?" I said, "No. When I go on tour, I get to see all the bands that I want to see, and I don't have to get a ticket, and I don't have to deal with the rigmarole. We're at the show already."
Yeah, and plus, I mean, you probably get like so many new fans, man, for playing a lot of like festivals.
We played one festival, and these kids are backstage. They're like 20 something years old, and they're like, "That song Cop Killer, you guys should put that out." And we didn't know Ice had a band. We just see him on Law and Order. So it's a whole different generation of people.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And then you did Ozfest. You did the 2018 Ozfest, man.
Well, we played a show for you know for Sharon. And the thing about it is, during the time I was doing the record, Sharon sent a cease and desist over, and because we didn't have Ozzy in the band, and so Tony says, "Well, she's just trying to scare you." I said, "Well, she's doing a pretty good job." So, but he says she does that to everyone. So when I saw her, I said, "I'm Ernie. I was produced the Sabbath record." She says, "Oh, baby, that's just business. That's just business." So we played a show with Sabbath. So
Yeah, and I think when you got the Grammy, Ozzy, like he like gave you congratulations, man.
that was totally out the blue, because we were nominated before. We got beat by Mastodon, which I like. So we've been around long enough, and I thought that was a great thing, to win that at the Grammy.
Yeah, man. And dude, getting congratulated by Ozzy, I mean that's pretty awesome, man.
It's ultimate. I talked to my friend Duff McKagan. He said you should be proud of that because Guns N' Roses, we don't have a Grammy. I'm like, really? I thought they had American Music Awards, but they didn't have a Grammy. So he told me that. I said, thank you for making me humble and keeping an eye on what's going on here.
Oh yeah, and I was also gonna ask, have you ever played the video game Doom?
No, you need to be talking to Ice. Ice is like the video game guy. I'm not good at video games. I only was good at one Street Fighter game that, that had one move that I could do with it, and that's it. I'm not good at video games at all.
Oh. Well, there's this video game Doom. It came out like in the early '90s, and like
Hmm.
all the music on it is like heavy metal. Like it's like Pantera, Slayer, and but
Okay.
it's all like video game versions.
Okay.
But they have Body Count is in the house is like one of the songs,
Oh,
but
really?
it's like a video game version. I think it's like called like Donna to the Rescue. I'll send it to you, but it sounds
Yeah, please,
exactly
please,
like the
please send that
same.
to me.
Yeah, man. Oh man. So are you gonna do like another tour? Are you guys?
We're gonna play some shows. We're playing Welcome to Rockville this summer. We're gonna play a couple of the Warp tours for Kevin Lyman, um, and then we're next summer we'll probably play. We'll play more next year. This year we played last summer, so we play every other summer. So next summer we'll play more. Which
Cause you
these
did,
summers go by so quick.
yeah, cause you did the one in Wisconsin
Yeah,
few years back.
we played that. We played the one in uh, what's Louisville. We played those. We played a couple of festivals here and there. But this year we're only playing like a couple of them, and next year we'll play more, and then we'll probably go back to Europe or something like that.
Do you got a favorite festival that you've played?
Um, we played this one in France called Hellfest. It's 1 million people. I mean, it's a city in itself. So that's was one that stands out in my mind.
Dude, I've seen like the bills for the
Oh,
Hellfest. It's like a
it's
poster.
I saw the Scorpions play there. I've never seen the Scorpions. I was like, and I was right out front. I was like, this is cool. I saw Tom Morello play there. I haven't seen Tom's solo act. I saw his solo act play there. So it's really cool.
Oh, dude, and you did the Rage demos, right?
No, I didn't do the. That's a Wikipedia thing that every time I hear them, I'm like, I didn't do the demos, but I did put them on their first shows. You know what I mean? I met Tom at a show. I met him at a Danzig show actually, and he's like, I have this band. You need to, can you because Body Count was out already, so we were popular. And so he's like, I got this band. You should come check us out. So I went and checked them out. I'm like, oh, they're badass. I'm going to put them on our show. As a matter of fact, when Ice talks about Rage, he inducted them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. His speech was like, Ernie came to me and said, I got this band to open for us, and Ice is like, that's not an opening band. you know? you know? So that's the story with them, and also Stone Temple Pilots. Uh, I didn't do their demos. I put them on shows and I helped find their manager and things like that. So I didn't do the demos. I was trying to do my own demos at that time.
All right, man. Well, I think we got it, man. I don't want to keep you too long, man,
That's okay. That's okay.
but this has been fantastic, dude. It's such an honor, man. I'm such a huge
Cool.
Body Count fan.
Cool. So we're going to be out playing those 2 shows this year, and hopefully we'll be out more next year, and we'll do this again.
Yeah, I think I definitely probably might try and go to the Wisconsin one, man. That's always cool.
No, we're not. We're playing down in Florida this year.
Oh, okay. Well, Florida, I probably won't go to that one.
Yeah,
Florida.
well, we're playing. Yeah, we're playing down to Welcome to Rockville down in Florida, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, yeah,
That's a
Florida.
little bit of a drive, man. When you
Yeah,
go to the
Florida.
Wisconsin, I could do. I
We'll
could drive to.
we'll get there. We'll get there sooner or later. We'll get back there.
All right, man. Well,
Cool.
thank you so much. I'll send you
It
that.
was my
I'll
send
send you
the
that
game to me.
the
Cool.
Doom thing. I'll send you that, man.
Cool. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. All right, bye.
Bye.